In the world of grown-up men, there are books we read for entertainment and books we read for knowledge. But there is only one work that is passed on to each other. As a mighty indispensable pillar, The Godfather. Why has the story of criminals, mafias, and bloodbaths become the mainstay for millions of men across the world? The answers are not in Tommy guns or dead bodies on New York streets. They are in the way that Vito Corleone, and later Michael Corleone, looked at the world. An unadulterated gaze, cold but full of wisdom and necessary severity. The Godfather is a mirror image of the man that many of us secretly long to become, humble to the vulnerable, ruthlessly righteous to the enemy, and absolutely fiercely devoted to the family. In this work, we find three pillars that helped Don Corleone build an entire empire from the ashes, and three lessons in blood necessary to forge a man into a true leader. Pillar 1. The art of reciprocity, a debt of gratitude. Remember the opening scene of the film, a classic moment that has gone down in film history. In a dark, closed office, Don Vito Corleone sat, gently holding his cat, listening to the desperate plea of Bonacera. Bonacera is a good businessman who believed in American law. But when his daughter was brutally beaten, the law turned its back on him. He found the Don as his last hope, and he committed the heinous crime that almost every naive person commits. He tried to use money to buy justice. "I will pay you any price you want," Bonacera said. This is the simple philosophy of ordinary businessmen, money for service. But Don Corleone despised that money. Why? Not because a mafia boss is opposed to wealth, but because he correctly assessed its cheap value in building a lasting relationship. Money is the cheapest thing in the world. Kindness is priceless. To Don Corleone, money is merely a tool, never a chain. When you pay someone money for a favor, that transaction ends as soon as the last coin is handed over. It creates a dead end. It does not generate loyalty, nor does it inspire sacrifice. The Don's number one philosophy teaches us to create leverage. He helped Bonacera secure justice for the crime without taking a penny. But he took away something infinitely more precious, a promise. One day, the Don promised, and that day may never come, "I will ask you to do me a favor." That is the profound art of reciprocity. The Don did not need cash at that moment. He needed an ally, a friend ready to serve when the time inevitably came. He understood that by turning a stranger into a debt of gratitude, he forced that soul into the fate of his own family. Loyalty cannot be purchased with money. It can only be exchanged by value, by reciprocity. In a modern world full of ruthless practicality, the Don teaches us to be the one who knows how to give the value away first. Do not ask for fairness in the moment that simplicity is for the weak. With brothers and with comrades, build a bank of love. Help them when they are trapped. Shake their hand when the world turns its back on them. Only then do you have a partner who is ready to bleed for you. That is soft power, the power that no gun can shoot. Pillar 2, awareness of the enemy. Keep the snake close. If friendship is the art of warmth, then the Don's consciousness about the enemy is the peak of cold, necessary cruelty. The classic saying, "Keep your friends close, but keep your enemies closer," is not just a clever dialogue. It is a principle of survival in a world full of knives hidden behind smiles. Ordinary people act according to their emotions when they hate someone. They block them, avoid them, and speak ill of them. They do this to comfort themselves and feel safe. But the Don teaches that this is the action of the weak and the foolish. Why? Because when you push the enemy away, you push him into the darkness. You no longer see him, but he is still watching you. You become blind to his movements while he is sharpening his knife, waiting for your moment of weakness. Look at the lesson in Blood from Michael Corleone. Embrace the enemy. The death of Sonny, the hot-headed hero, was a devastating blow to the family. The man behind everything was known Barzini and Tartaglia. If Michael had been a normal man, he would have attacked instantly. But if he did that, the weak Corleone family would inevitably lose. Michael did the opposite. He swallowed his hatred. He put himself behind a mask of obedience. He accepted to sit at the table with the very men who had killed his brother, shook their hands and referred to them as partners. This is not cowardice, it is the absolute control of emotion. It is the necessary sacrifice of personal pride for the sake of the family empire. If you believe that emotional control is the ultimate weapon, please hit the subscribe button. Michael kept Barzini and the other bosses extremely close. He pretended to be weak, pretending he wanted to sell the businesses to retreat. This closeness made Barzini subjective. He thought the Corleone line was broken, thinking Michael was just a weak student. And most importantly, because Michael maintained communication, he was able to expose the deep-rooted traitor. Vito, before passing away, told Michael, "Whoever comes to you to arrange a settlement meeting with Barzini, that person is the traitor." If Michael had cut off all contact with Barzini from the beginning, Barzini would never have needed to send a diplomat. Michael would never have discovered who among his father's closest, most trusted men, Clemenza and Tessio, had sold his soul. But because Michael still maintained the relationship, Barzini made a fatal mistake. He contacted Tessio, and at the moment Tessio asked Michael to set up the meeting, Michael felt a chill run down his spine, but his eyes did not waver. The trap was sprung, but the one caught was not Michael, but the traitor and the enemy. The distance would have created a fake safety, while the closeness created real, actionable information. You can only control the danger when it is directly in your line of sight. In your career and life, do not block your enemies. Keep them visible. Smile when you meet them. Listen to what they say. Why? To collect information, to manipulate their perception, and to train your self-control. Smiling at the people you hate is the hardest test of restraint. A man who cannot control his feelings toward his enemy can never control his strength. Pillar 3, the family sanctuary, the inviolable heart. If thinking about allies as a tool and thinking about the enemy as a weapon, then thinking about family is the sacred purpose of life. This is the heart, the soul of the entire work, and it is what makes the Dons great more than any other criminal. Vito's famous advice is not a suggestion, it is a definition. A man who doesn't spend time with his family can never become a real man. Family is the root, career is the battlefield. All the battles, all the money, all the power are meaningless if there is no family to protect and share it with. If the root is weak, no matter how big the tree grows, it will fall in front of a light wind. Many men today imagine that they work hard all night for their career, for the future of their wife and children. They neglect their home life, thinking that bringing home money is enough. This is a fatal mistake. The Don taught that money can be lost and found, but time with family is the only thing that never comes back. A man who is successful in society but comes home only to see coldness in his wife's eyes and distance from his son is a miserable failure. The tragedy of Michael Corleone is the ultimate lesson. He loved his family more than his life. He walked the path of sin only to save his father and his family. But on that journey, he lost the very thing he wanted to protect. Michael becomes too cold, too cruel. He defeated all the enemies and killed all the traitors, culminating in the tragic execution of his own brother, Fredo. He became the most powerful Don, but he lost the battle to keep his family. His wife left. His children grew distant. His gold was secured by an icy, terrible solitude. The final image of Michael in the Godfather part, lying alone on a stone chair in the middle of a storm, his eyes empty, is heartbreaking. He defeated every external enemy, but he lost the internal war. The lesson is the cruel balance. Men must fight fiercely and face the storm to protect the family, but they must never bring the cruelty of the battlefield home. Do not bring the ruthlessness you use on your enemies to the dinner table with your wife. And conversely, do not bring the weakness of family sentiment to the battlefield. This balance is painful but necessary. Without external victory, the family is threatened. But without the sanctuary of the family, all the external victories are meaningless. A man must shoulder these two worlds. It is heavy. It is tiring. But it is the price and the ultimate reward of true maturity. If this code of power and family resonated with you, please comment below. What is the most important lesson the Don taught you? We reveal the hidden codes of success and failure every week. Click the notification bell to stay informed. Share this video with any man you know. Who is still struggling to find the balance between the battle and the home? For more chronicles of power and consequence, click on the video. Now showing the CEO's retribution for another story of justice.